Hi guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about a subject of would selective breeding of an animal based on intelligence increase its intelligence over time? Well, I think it's a pretty interesting topic because if you think about it, the human brain actually only really became as big as it is now after humans started cooking food. So basically what happened was that the nutrients that you get from raw food are actually less than what you would be getting from something that is cooked. And it's only over the space of around maybe 600,000 years of where humans started more cooking food than they started eating just raw food that they actually evolved or actually doubled their brain size. And a proof of how cooking food actually affects the brain and actually everything in the body is the fact that they've actually a lot of scientists have looked at women, for example, that have just raw diets, like 100% raw diets, and they actually figured out that they would start to stop menstruating, they would start having deficiencies here and there, which basically shows that if menstruation stops, it means that people can't have a baby and stuff like that, which shows that if you're not getting enough nutrients, well, the body has to at least keep itself alive some other way, so it will shut down things that are not important to it. And that's also very interesting to take into account is the fact that all other animals really, they will generally prefer raw food, and obviously they do have intelligence, but at the same time they don't have the same type of intelligence as us. They might have better sense of smell, they might have better hearing, they might have better eyesight and stuff like that, but they are still lacking the ability to be able to speak like us, to be able to do things like us. So getting back to my initial subject, I really believe that obviously if you are going to breed animals based on intelligence, well, the intelligence is going to increase. It just makes sense because intelligent animals will breed with other intelligent animals, and that's going to make them more smart. But at the same time, they have, if you take the example of a dog, for example, or a cat, well, they don't have opposable thumbs. They're still walking on four legs. So they wouldn't actually be able to build a fire in order to cook food. So that's the thing that about cooked food is, even if, for example, we were to offer them more cooked food, and it's not going to happen over 1 or 2 generations, they are going to get smarter, but the real evolution takes thousands and thousands of years. For us, it was, as I mentioned before, about 600,000 years. So in order to actually double that brain size, so somebody would have to do that test for centuries and centuries and centuries until they actually were able to breed a race that is so smart and intelligent. But at the same time, the problem is that if we're always cooking for them and stuff like that, well, there's still not that opposable thumb. So something happened in the evolution of human beings, of Neanderthals or other subspecies that actually through evolution became us, that actually at one point made us more intelligent. I did read some research saying that some sort of mutation happened after some illness that kind of developed our cortex, and at that time intelligence really spurred and became bigger. But obviously the thing is that there is not a lot of data that is available really, except from fossils, from things that we find in the ground, and because they're so old, sometimes it's difficult to really actually know what is what, how things happened at one point or another. But definitely, it's not because someone reads with somebody that is also intelligent that necessarily they're going to be 10 times more intelligent. There is going to be more of a chance of having that intelligence gene, because it goes back to evolution saying intelligence allows us to have more children. Intelligence allows us to do this or that. So even though intelligence is important, and in this subject it's about intelligence and increasing it, if it's not something that is necessary for the survival of that human being, for us was we don't have big fangs, we don't have a lot of hair on our body, so things are a little bit more difficult, whereas the animals have evolved in a way where they're stronger, bigger, faster, but then their brain didn't evolve in the same way. And it's complicated to actually like really wrap yourself fully around something like that. But at the same time, there is a chance that it would, if we just offered cooked food and all that, that they would develop, but it might not develop in the same way as us. They might just become much more intelligent, but it doesn't necessarily dictate the fact that they would think like us, or that they would even be able to speak like us, because maybe it's not a necessity. And usually there's just like so many things that change too, because once we started eating more cooked food, then the jaw, the teeth, everything shrank, the muscles shrank, a lot of different things. So because we didn't need it through evolution, we just basically evolved in such a way that it made us intelligent from a cognitive point of view, but also we lost other things like better sense of smell. We lost a lot of length in the digestive system, so animals will usually be able to digest things more efficiently, better than us if it's not cooked, and we've lost a lot of those. So the truth could be also interesting is the reverse, to do the reverse. What if we always ate raw food for hundreds of centuries? Would we take away some intelligence because now we don't have enough nutrients inside our bodies? So what's going to happen is that in order to still keep the body efficient, well, the body's going to have to take away from those nutrients that would usually go to the brain in order to put it into the body. And as a result, we'd become more Neanderthal-like. But that again would take hundreds and thousands of years really to actually see its effect, because again it's all about survival. So either you survive or you die, and that's the whole thing about the whole world, is the evolution comes from that. So if we can push it towards one way more than the other, and make evolution understand, Mother Nature understand that it needs intelligence in order to survive, then more animals will actually start adapting to that. But if it doesn't need that for survival, well then obviously, it won't evolve that way. It's just really hard to play God, and really hard to play with nature. It just takes so long, takes so much time. But it's an interesting topic, interesting to think about. So that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.